And hello and welcome everyone to the comic multiverse where the worlds of nerd meet. Matt, it's Sunday night. We're back again with all of our friends, all of the party people here, both on Twitch and on YouTube. It's going to be a great episode because it's always a great episode.
Yeah, and it feels weird because last week we did that the retro hero thing, so it's been technically 2 weeks since we've done one of these shows.
Yeah. Yes, it feels like a while. When we don't do it for a week, it feels like 100 years. Thank you, everyone who watched that Retro Hero video. The video has yet to cross 1,000 just yet, but I checked the analytics, and way more people watched that hour to the end than they normally did the podcast. So
Nice.
It makes me feel good knowing the people who do like the show really like it.
Yeah, that's good.
It's the first time ever when I uploaded a video and they ask about content stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay, I guess I legally have to click the we are doing a more serious content thing. So I wonder how that impacts how many people saw it, if YouTube like actively buried it or what.
Yeah, I've had a couple of videos where I've been like, do I have to click this? Do I have to take? I mean, other stuff in this other video is the same thing, but I didn't have to click it on that one. Do I have to click it on this one? I don't know.
I didn't get demonetized, which I was really scared of, and that's the good thing, because I know, again, Saber Spark, who's another YouTuber, he covered the same episode, and he actually got demonetized.
Yeah, they're very fickle with sometimes you will, sometimes you won't.
I very much believe this, and I probably shouldn't believe this because it'll get me in trouble later. This idea where it's like, comic books are so niche, my channel is so piddly and whatever, they don't give a fuck what I do.
You haven't hit that barrier yet,
No.
Like there's a subscription barrier they have where it's like as soon as you cross that, they start looking at your channel more.
They start paying attention, absolutely. I see people in the chat talking about WrestleMania. Yes, it's night 2 of the 2-night WrestleMania. I've been watching wrestling all week. Not WWE. I was watching Planet Death and Joey Janela's Spring Break and the Supercard of Honor. So, you figure, oh, he doesn't watch WWE anymore, so I'm sure he doesn't watch that much wrestling. No, I actually watch more now.
You watch every night.
Oh, and then there's the Lucha show and the gay show and the black show. No, I kid you not. Everyone has a show in WrestleMania. If you're an independent worker, you travel behind WrestleMania and you have your own specialty show. And a lot of them are really great.
That's the problem, isn't it?
It really is. Wrestling, like comics, is like, man, what a great time. There's so much great content. There's something for everybody.
Yeah.
And I've been playing Elden Ring, as you saw on Twitter there. I took the dive a month late and $1 short like everyone.
What are you playing it on?
I am playing it, believe it or not, on PS4.
Oh, wow.
And it's actually running pretty okay. It gets a little stuttery and choppy when you're running the roads and you get that big procession of people. But when you're just doing the dungeons and everything, it actually works pretty okay. I was surprised, and it still looks pretty nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll have to co-op at some point because I got it on PS5, and I'm pretty sure we can co-op on that.
So.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I was at the big Margot, the Fell Omen, the first big boss.
Yep. I
banged my head against that one for a little bit, and then I realized, jellyfish is the way to go.
Yes, the Asher War jellyfish.
I did not think the big ghost jellyfish would be such a game changer, but it actually was.
Either jellyfish or, as I found out, just 2 big fucking swords.
Yes, I've seen your build. You're rocking 2 swords, and I'm like, oh, I'm jealous. I'm still sword and boarding it. Again, I picked a confessor because I stupidly thought, I'm going to have a faith build, because if I pick the faith guy, I get a dedicated, health spell, so I don't have to use my Estus the whole time. It really doesn't matter. In the heat of battle, it takes you a whole 10 seconds.
Yeah. There are, you can get talismans and stuff that will reduce the spell cast time, but I found that just hitting things very, very hard a couple of times actually works a lot better than spells.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out right now. I'm thinking, man, there's so many cool curved swords in this game. I really should have gone with a dex build. I'm at that point where I hate my build.
Well, once you kill the boss after the one in the castle that you're in.
Yes, you and other people told me that you can respec.
You will be able to respec, and I think you can respec as many times as you want.
That's good. Again, I'm still so early in the game. There's systems I haven't even got yet. Like, I have one Ash of War. I just have the one Ash of War, and I'm like, oh, I got this. You know, I got past the big boss. I'm in the castle now. I'm doing good. Hey, why'd this room go dark? Oh, God, there's a heavily armored knight. It's a small room. Help.
The worst thing is, once you get further into the castle, there's more of those knights.
Oh, goody. He wrecked my shit. He rocked me super hard. Now, is there a D&D system in place here, too, where, like, heavily armored enemies, you don't want slashing, you want, like, piercing or bludgeoning, and that does more damage to them?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, my two swords, I do, like, a jump attack, and what that manages to... That, like, sunders them. So if they've got, like, a shield and I do, like, a jump attack, it, like, basically drains all their stamina. So then I can just go to town on them.
Okay, because some skeletons I wasn't doing shit against, and I'm like, okay, well, D&D rules state that I need to come back with a mace, so I actually bought a mace for just that type of scenario. I will tell you my favorite moment, though, when I was screwing around in that cave looking for this game's version of Patch, and I'm like, oh, a red phantom is coming to kill me. Oh, God, he does bleed damage, and he's so fast, and he has 2 knives. What am I going to do? Oh, a friendly samurai came to tell me. Thank you, friendly samurai.
I know the one you're fighting. Yeah, and did you manage to kill him? Because you get the knife as well.
I did get the knife. I'm like, yeah, I got a knife that I can't really use because I'm not a dex guy, but I love the idea of making people bleed.
Yeah, those knives are really fucking good.
I also totally bit off more than I could chew in, like, the special hold area with all the characters you can talk to. I'm like, oh, you can jump down here? What's the big chandelier? Oh, another red phantom. Oh, God, he's killing me. He's killing me. He does blood and frost. Oh, God. That's the way you play 90% of this game. Hey, what's in this room? Oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah, there's always some horrifying thing for you to discover. Yeah.
Some nightmare monstrosity, a giant bear. I haven't even tried fighting the tree sentinel or any of those giants. I'm just like, nope.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to get the tree sentinel, but like that's the point. They're trying to instill that you don't need to fight every enemy you see straight away.
Yes, and it truly is the best version of Dark Souls because of that. Because in every other Souls game I played, I would hit the wall where I'm like, okay, this is too difficult for me, and I don't have the time or the wherewithal to learn or to grind. But what's great about this is you hit a wall, that's fine. Go somewhere else.
Go the opposite way, yeah.
Yeah, and you come back, you'll get a new Ash of War, a new weapon, a new summon, you'll level up, and then you can kill the thing that killed you. It's a beautiful system.
Yep.
It's why I can see that so many people are getting into this who couldn't get into the other Dark Souls.
Exactly. It's a little bit more open. It's still hard as shit, but it's a little bit more open.
You have options, and that's really all it takes, is just give me the option to come at this from another angle, where normally the only way you could get past some of those bigger, badder Dark Souls and even Bloodborne bosses is like, okay, time to hit your head against the wall until you break on through the other side.
Yeah.
Or in Bloodborne's case, just get a bunch of oil and Molotovs and just keep throwing.
Well, as well, in this one, I know some of the later bosses, some of the later ones I fought in the big capital city, they actually have... There's things you can find in the world that will actually help you against the boss. Like there was one I fought where it had some type of usable item that would actually chain it to the ground and allow for like 5 seconds and allow you to do as much damage as you can in that time.
Oh, like Gascoigne's music box. That's a
fun stuff like that. Yeah.
Captain Kun Joel walks into a room. Why do I hear boss music?
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
All the time, every time. Why do I hear this boss music?
It'll be that, or you'll not be able to open up your map, and you'll be like, okay, where's the lobster coming from?
Yeah,
you've got to fight them soon. Once you get through the castle, there's like giant lobsters.
I know I could have probably met 2 dragons by now, but I'm like, no, I am not ready to fight a dragon.
Yeah, I fought a dragon last night, and I'm level 150. I fought a dragon last night, and it was like the most chaotic skin of my teeth fight I've ever had.
I could tell, if I'm going to fight these horseback guys, if I'm going to need to fight a dragon, I'm going to need a bigger stick to get it. I don't have one yet. I only have the short spear, and I'm like, that's not going to do it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Ambitious Cosplay. We're going to be talking about Morbius later, because even though we took 2 weeks off, Morbius didn't stop making the news.
No, it's made $1 trillion.
Yes, biggest movie of the year. Scorsese himself wept with an erection at the true art of cinema that he was seeing. He gave Jared Leto money from his wallet. It was a beautiful moment. Oh, well, I guess with that, we'll table the Elden Ring talk, everyone, and we'll actually get to the news this week. There wasn't much of it, and admittedly, there weren't that many comics this week, but normally when we say that, we end up having a whole fucking show anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess starting things off with probably the biggest thing that people want to hear us talk about, Moon Knight Episode 1 debuted.
Yeah.
While we were away. How about it?
It was pretty damn good.
It was really different, wasn't it? I remember people were saying, like, oh, this is going to be a little different. This is going to be a little outside the MCU box. And I don't think I was prepared for how much that's really the case. On Twitter, I compared it to something like WandaVision, because very much it's not an action show, it's a mystery show.
Yeah, and it's absolutely built like one in that you have no idea what is going on because the character has no idea what's going on. Yep. And I like the idea that they're using the Stephen Grant persona as the audience's vehicle.
Surrogate, yeah, that definitely threw me for a loop there. I'm like, oh, we're following Steven, not Mark, who's normally the main personality, and who maybe is. I guess we'll find out. Also, it makes more sense putting it in Britain because it means Oscar Isaac can cycle through all of his different accents.
Yeah. I think people have finally realized that the accent is like that's part of his persona. He doesn't actually talk like that through. That's just the Stephen Grant persona. But yeah, I like the idea as well that Moon Knight seemingly has been like a thing for a while, like as Mark, whereas and like Steven doesn't actually know.
No, yeah, that's very interesting. Also, Stephen Grant decidedly not a millionaire in this universe. I guess they wanted to play down as many connections to Batman as they possibly could, which is fine.
Yeah, and I guess it would make him also be like, oh, he's a millionaire. It's like Tony Stark or all these other characters and everything.
Yeah, do we need another rich guy? Then again, he lives in London in a very nice, like, loft apartment, so, you know.
He's probably well off.
He's well off, can afford a lot of fish.
Yeah.
Frequent fish, in fact. Ethan Hawke I actually quite enjoyed as the villain, Harrow, who was kind of the big mystery because no one really knew who he was going to be, and because Moon Knight doesn't really have a lot of well-known villains they could pull from anywhere, and apparently he is from the comics, but like from like one issue in the 80s.
Yes, I imagine that was on purpose so they can just do whatever the fuck they want with the character.
And no one can complain. Like in the book, I think he was like some sort of Nobel Prize winning pain scientist, just like very, very 80s comic book.
Yeah, and here he's just playing, cult leader. He's playing Jared Leto,
Yeah, playing the real life Jared Leto. Yeah, I did like that bit in the beginning. He's listening to Bob Dylan and filling his shoes with glass. Which is apparently a real thing people with certain types of mental illness do to like concentrate, to be like, I am in this moment is real because I'm concentrating on the pain.
Oh, okay then.
Which makes me think like, oh, if this guy is like the avatar of Amet, does that mean that he's dealing with some like psychosis in the same way that Steve and Mark are?
He gets possessed like how Steven does.
Yeah, and that because of that he's lost his own, kind of handle on reality. I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of interesting because Marvel loves that trick, the I'm a dark mirror of you type thing.
Yeah.
So that's a fun thing to do. Did you see the show actually got like review bombed, but for like the most ridiculous reason?
Oh, really?
Yes, the show was getting review bombed because they mentioned the Armenian genocide.
Oh, okay.
And apparently there are a lot of truthers out there who believe that didn't happen and that that's a whole conspiracy. Which I'm like, God. Wow. Yeah, fucking all types on internet. I can't believe that's the thing that, pissed them off.
Jesus.
I'm like, really? Again, it's like a literal blink and you'll miss it line. When he talks about the evils of humanity, which I guess that is going to be the theme moving forward because, they still need to decide what Moon Knight's, like, thing is, what he's all about. Because in the new books, he's like, oh, I am the Moon Knight. I protect those who travel by night. That's my mission. Here you got a dude who's, like, doing predictive justice and, killing people for crimes they haven't committed yet, but he can't do it to Steve because it's like, oh, you have chaos in you. Is that going to be Moon Knight's thing? I defend people's right to choose because, part of being human is being chaotic and everything, and we have the right to redemption and to change our hearts, etc., etc.
Yeah, we don't exactly know what his whole deal is because by the looks of it, like, Mark is like, I don't know, like, a spy or something.
Or a hitman or something.
Yeah, because he's like working with Layla, who's his wife.
Oh.
I believe that is what they're doing in the MCU, I think, or like his wife, like a cover sort of thing.
Right.
And yeah,
interesting.
And we see here he's after like the scarab thing, which is one of those things that Moon Knight actually used to throw at people.
I know. It also feels very Power Rangers, doesn't like, it's my Moon Knight morpher, activate. I have seen so many cosplayers as Sailor Moon Knight, and I'm like, that's pretty true.
That's great.
Just put it on a little wand, and that's basically what he does, his magical girl transformation. Yeah, I mean, beyond that, it's a show that is very deliberately paced. You get one kind of car chase, some stuff with like a jackal monster, and that's basically it for episode 1. Again, much like WandaVision, I keep coming back to the idea where it's like, hey guys, we've made a ton of these that have made $1 billion each, so we're gonna go a little slow on this one, and it's okay if you don't like episode 1. We know you'll be back, or not, it's fine.
Yep.
I feel that's very much what this is going to be, because I know I saw a lot of people complaining, like, oh, it's boring. And I'm like, no, it's deliberate. There's a difference between those things.
Exactly.
Again, not everything is a pulse-pounding action, which is so funny, because I'm sure they're the same people who complain, like, oh, the Marvel movies are, like, just disposable, pop culture entertainment. They're like eating candy. It's like, okay, well, here's one that actually does think you're an adult and actually goes hard on the concept of what would it be like to live in the head of a man who can't trust his own mind.
Yeah, again, those the type of people that hate being wrong.
Yes, about everything, where it's like, okay, well, here's one that actually is doing something different, and you shit-talking it, so I don't know what you want. And it's short, too. It's going to only be 6 episodes.
Yeah, it finishes up, I think, the week Obi-Wan starts, because Obi-Wan was meant to start the same day it finishes, but Obi-Wan's moved to the 27th on the Friday now.
Makes sense. Yeah. Magmaster bringing up something important there. Is it also super controversial how Avatar is sometimes called an anime? That's right, he did call Avatar an anime. Fucking weeb Steve Grant over here. Man, I really wanted Harrow to freak out on it and be like, no, it's done in an anime style, but if it's not from Japan, it's not anime.
Chaos. That's the chaos.
The chaos in his heart. He knew that it would get a rise out of him.
Steve thinks that like all cartoons are like anime. He's like Rick and Morty is an anime, and Adventure Time is an anime.
King of the Hill is my favorite anime. Harrow just getting madder and madder.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good shit. But yeah, I like Moon Knight. Again, it's 6 episodes, and I feel so jealous because I actually know some people who got to watch the first 4 who got like a press packet.
Yeah.
They did say that there's something they might do in episode 2 with Mr. Knight that might piss me off as a purist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like,
I have a feeling I know what it is. I think I might have heard what it is.
Okay, tell me what you heard, and then I'll tell you my theory I was cooking, and we'll see if I'm right.
I heard that he does like the quote unquote superhero landing and like has like a quip about his name.
Oh.
That's what I heard. Like someone asks who he is and he says his name is Mr. Knight, and it's like, oh, it sounded better in my head.
Yeah. That doesn't bother me as much.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's okay. Again, it can't all be totally serious. My theory of the thing that was going to piss me off is like, okay, what if this isn't a split personality thing we're dealing with? What if these are all different people and Khonshu just allows him to inhabit the body of 3 different people, so Moon Knight's like one person, not just a dude with a split personality?
Interesting.
That would bother me as a purist. I don't think they're going to do that because they try really hard to, again, do the whole, like, oh, I got to put sand around my bed, I got to tape up my door and everything because I don't trust myself. I don't think they would do that, but I don't know.
Yeah, again, that could happen, but it could be like some sort of byproduct of whatever Harrow does or something to him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, also, hey, Khonshu looks great in the show, and also, I cannot believe that's F. Murray Abraham doing his voice.
Yeah, it's funny, because he doesn't sound like how I imagined Khonshu to sound.
Not at all, but he's kind of growing on me. Like, Khonshu in the comics, he's kind of eloquent and old world, because he's an Egyptian god and everything, yet here in this, he's just like, fucking Steve Grant, at it again.
Yeah.
You fucking up my moon shit, Steve Grant. God damn it. I'm like, wow, Khonshu really is at the end of his rope, isn't he? He's been living in this world for way too long. You bastard. You gotta wonder how hard they're gonna go on the Egyptian god thing, if they're gonna be like, no, it's more like Thor, where he's just an extra-dimensional, super-powered being who was believed to be a god to all these people.
Yeah, well, I think they have mentioned that this will be the first time we actually see, like, gods in the
really?
MCU. Yeah, which I know confused a lot of people, because they're like, oh, Thor, Odin. Like, no, they're fucking aliens.
There are alien extra-dimensional beings there, which, I mean, I can't wait for the power scalers to be like, oh, does that mean Khonshu can beat up Odin?
Yes.
I don't know. You'll have to watch the movie and find out. Get that inevitable crossover.
Yeah, Khonshu versus Odin.
Odin, the final battle coming soon. But yeah, I like Moon Knight. I thought it was off to a good start. I see why people were complaining about it being boring. I just don't agree with it.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I don't agree with it at all. I appreciate the show being deliberate and taking its time and really trying to build its own little corner of the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I would probably say this is the first MCU thing in a long time that you can actually watch in a bubble.
Yeah, it doesn't feel all that connected. I think there was on the bus just like a reference to that movement from Falcon and Winter Soldier, the global,
right?
The one that were housing people after the snap. Right. I think that's about it.
Oh, Captain Coon's saying, I feel like this Khonshu is specifically based off the Charlie Houston run, where he was kind of tired of Mark Steve Jack's crap. Yeah, it really feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which I guess they've clearly been doing this for a long time, so it's just Steven's just now figuring out about it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it implies a much bigger, longer relationship they've all had.
Yeah.
All right, then moving on to our next piece of news here. And this one surprised the shit out of me because they dropped this on April 1st, and obviously any news you read on April 1st, has to be a lie.
Yeah, that's probably why they dropped it.
Maybe so. Turned out to be true. In fact, I didn't see any April Fool's jokes this year. I think we all agree 3 years into a global pandemic with a land war in Europe, it's like, you know what? Let's stow the jokes this year, guys.
Well as a lot of them. I saw a couple, but they were like really, really like try hard and very obvious.
Of course. But yes, the piece of news I'm talking about is Bloodline, the daughter of Blade, is actually getting resurrected at Marvel. If you followed the show for a long time, and I know a lot of people tweeted me about this because this is a torch I refuse to put down, Tim Seeley, several years ago now, was supposed to launch the character. It was going to be a big deal. We were going to meet Blade's daughter. She was going to be like the new prominent vampire hunter in the Marvel Universe. And that idea hit a lot of backlash. They didn't like the idea of a white guy writing it, and so Marvel's like, okay, cool, we'll just totally kill the idea, and Seeley didn't get to write it. And it took a couple years later, and the fans who were angry like, why did we do that? Why did we shout down that idea? We literally lost a brand new female hero of color in the Marvel Universe. Wow, it's just because he was writing it didn't mean he had to write it forever. Jeez, we really got to take the L on this one, everyone. And, Cosmic Reader helping us out in the chat there. I hope to see Khonshu in Thor Love and Thunder, since we have Zeus in the film and we have Gore the God Butcher. Yeah, have him in the background. That'd be fun.
Yeah, how would that work? Because, Gore is going after gods, but they're technically not gods?
I guess they'll have to square that circle in the movie, maybe.
Yeah,
I like that. But, the Bloodline is actually being resurrected by Danny Loren, who, of course, did, that short-lived redo on the Champions before it got canceled. Their work is really good. I've read a lot of their stuff, and I'm super cool that they're the one who's going to be writing this.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we're finally getting more Blade content, probably, in lead up to the show and movie and everything else they're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy this idea got to see the light of day. That rarely happens.
How many years after?
Oh God,
8?
That's excellent. It feels like that. It feels like forever.
Ages ago. This was back during the all new, all different era.
Yeah, that's right. Holy shit. Yeah. Wow. When was that? But yeah, feels forever ago. Okay. Yeah. Here's the original artwork. I'm looking at right now. And again, I was super excited for Seeley to be on this one because obviously he wrote Hack and Slash, which was all about a young girl finding herself and killing monsters. So surely the dude knew what he was. 2015.
Yeah, Jesus, that's a while ago.
2015, so that long ago, and they finally brought the idea back. It's good though. I'm super stoked on it.
Yeah, that is about time.
Yeah, I hope it's good. I hope it lives up to all the expectations.
Yeah.
And speaking of vampires, and the chat already kind of beat us on this one, Morbius finally released this week, but even before its release, oh boy, did it have a firestorm of embarrassments and controversies and everything else.
And the best thing is, it was all like Sony's doing itself. This wasn't like something like people dug up about something. This is all Sony like put out.
It was all self-inflicted. This was all totally the work of like a company that knew they, you know, baked a turkey, know they laid a turd, and so they had to try and polish it as best they could. Early in the week, the director, Esposito,
yeah,
again, whatever it is, basically did a glorified Q&A, and the whole point of the Q&A was basically just for him to spoil the movie, especially the post-credit scene, in hopes it would make people either A, want to see it, or B, make YouTubers like me and you talk about it to try and give the movie free promotion.
Yeah, and we of course did neither of those because we're not going to do videos on that. I've seen Morbius, and I'm not going to do a video on it.
Yeah, people, by and large, people were not buying this and were not falling for this trick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did see some, as me, you, and our good friend Kurt got a good laugh out of all those YouTubers breaking their backs to say something nice about this movie.
Breaking their back to suck the dick of this failure. Which, again, they weren't even YouTubers. I think they were primarily like streamers and TikTokers. And so yeah, they all put out like, well, actually Sony put it out, but they're like, oh, well, here's what, you know, all these prominent internet people have to say about the movie and why they're so excited. And their fans, which to their credit, instantly smelled the bullshit. And they're like, why are you promoting a movie that looks so bad? Why are you promoting a movie that already got bad reviews? Which eventually forced them to be like, oh, well, actually, Sony flew us out in December to film this, but they didn't pay us. No money changed hands, though, we swear.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're not paid shills. You know, please like and subscribe. We're definitely not shilling for this. To which, in my mind, I'm like, hey, man, I've been on both sides of this deal in the YouTuber influencer space. And yeah, they probably didn't pay you money, but they flew you out to the studio, bought you dinner, kissed your ass, probably promised you a chance to come and cover a better premiere. So you were definitely paid off for this, and you got caught, which is only the real problem, that you got caught. So take the L and move the fuck on. But yes, that was truly hilarious. And then just to really add insult to injury, like the day before the movie came out proper, the post-credit scene leaked out online.
Yeah, it's hilarious because I saw one that was like proper HD. Like someone had filmed it and everything, but like no one gave a shit because there was no one in the cinema or anything. No. Just one person, and just sitting there, just filming it. I saw both of them before I saw the film, which is fantastic.
Yep, and the post-credit is as lame as you think, and also calls into question a lot of continuity issues, because let us not forget this movie was supposed to be out like 2 years ago, hit a ton of delays, both production and COVID-related, and because of the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, the ending of this movie basically makes no sense now.
Yeah. We should probably tell people what the credits are. No one gives a shit about spoilers.
I will say, anyone, if you actually care about it, if you've actually held out this long and you really don't want to be spoiled on the end of Morbius, seek help first off. But second off, put your fingers in your ear, la 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 la, for the next like 3 minutes while Matt and I talk about it. So, Matt, do you want to take this one? How does the movie end?
In the post-credits, the first post-credits is Michael Keaton's Adrian Toomes coming over into the Venom Morbius universe. The
Sonyverse, whatever we're calling it.
Yeah. And of course, he's in jail in the MCU, and he was in jail here, but because he committed no crimes, he's immediately freed, because that's how that works. Yes. He's immediately freed. And then the second one is... somehow manages to make a Vulture suit, even though
his own.
Even though he never made the suit in the MCU, the Tinkerer did.
Yep.
And
it's also a good way to not have to film Michael Keaton and just have him literally
his voice
phone in his line.
And then he confronts Morbius in the desert and wants to team up to kill Spider-Man, despite Morbius not knowing who Spider-Man is, despite him being in another universe and wanting to stay there, despite him having a family in the MCU who his whole story was about doing things for his family.
Yes.
And yeah, he wants to kill Spider-Man now.
Even though Spider-Man technically saved him, so even if he forgot the Peter Parker stuff, he shouldn't have forgotten the Spider-Man stuff.
And even then, in the post-credit scene of Homecoming, he never gave up who Peter was to Matt Gargan.
Yes.
So he was okay with Peter and Spider-Man. So it makes no fucking sense.
But yes, even if he did forget, even if he did cosmically, have his mind wiped, it still makes no sense, because it was never going to make any sense, because Sony, for some goddamn reason, is married to the idea of having a Sinister Six movie that they're willing to torpedo their second comic book universe to do it.
I don't. The funniest thing about this as well is the director also came out and said that Sony is the one who invented the multiverse. Mm-hmm. And like the shared universes stuff. I'm like, okay, right. Is this another one of those, true believer Avi Arad things?
As Crusader Khan says, also there's no Chitauri in the Sonyverse, so where did he get the alien tech to build his suit? Yeah,
because the suit, it looks exactly the same as it did in Homecoming. So like,
oops.
Yeah, again, the people seem to forget that this guy was just like a blue collar worker who didn't know how the tech worked, which is why he had the Tinkerer.
Yeah, no, they forgot all of that. They don't care how they
I know Michael Keaton was probably just there for a fucking paycheck, but he should have probably said like, hey, this is nothing like how my character was before.
Also, so Venom crossed over the first time, but then crossed back right at the end. Mm-hmm. But Keaton crossed over to that world
and
stayed there?
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
How the fuck does that work?
Doesn't make any sense.
Well, you see, what's that over there? But yeah, so bad, nonsensical post-credit, and I'm glad everyone is calling it on being nonsensical.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone defend that.
No, everyone's like, that's bad, that's dumb, you waited 2 years, and instead of working out a better post-credit, you knew that was the one you wanted, so you just stuck with it.
And apparently all the Michael Keaton stuff was reshot, because he did reshoots for the film a couple of months ago. Because remember, like none of the Spider-Man stuff that's in the trailers is in the film.
Nope,
like
they
none
lied
of
to
it.
you.
None of it.
Again, just let me say that Sony, they lied to you. They tried to trick you. They think you're stupid. They think you're not gonna realize this. They tried to get you hyped with Venom because that made money, but he went back right at the end of his movie, which means you should stop seeing these.
It's just so scummy.
Very. It's the ultimate scummy thing. It is so... I don't know how anyone can fall for it, but people didn't fall for it. The movie only made like $5.7 million.
Yeah, I think after this opening weekend, it's just gonna drop like a rock.
Oh god, yeah. Well, they got a new Harry Potter movie coming out this week.
Yeah,
next week.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I don't want to see that either, but
no.
Still.
No.
But surely that can dethrone Morbius.
Morbius, it'll dethrone its road to $1 trillion.
Yeah. Avatica, get the fuck out of here. Oh man, Comic Tropes is another hard-working comic book YouTuber. He was literally in the theater, and he wrote on Twitter that he had to ask an usher to turn the movie on for him because he was the only one there. Wow, right?
Oh, that's great.
And the usher looked super disappointed, like, wow, man, you gotta be the biggest Morbius fan ever. All right, I'll turn it on.
You saw the pictures as well of the Morbius Discord community.
Oh, yes, we gotta talk about the Morbius Discord community. So apparently, Jared Leto took time off his creepy sex cult island to go and hand out t-shirts and stuff for the people in the Morbius Discord fan community, which exists. They all got to see the movie for free, so I guess they didn't make any fucking money off these people either. And they couldn't even fill up that theater. There were empty seats in that one. They literally gave tickets away and they couldn't fill it.
I fully expect as well that some of the people in that photo were just like movie theater like employees. They're just like, hey, just come sit down, put this shirt on for like 5 minutes.
I was gonna say there's a lot of young women there, so I'm sure
Yes.
Leto flew them in from his private island.
Absolutely,
to fill it
or
out.
flew them back out to his private island.
Yes, as he sits there in his white suit, and even he doesn't look happy to be there. Even he's like, "This is it, huh? I'm never leaving my island again."
He's 2 for 2 for shitty comic book movies. He should just stop.
He really should.
Go fucking tour with 30 Seconds of Mars again.
Or whatever, yeah. Whatever it is you do. Eric Sandy helping us out in the chat there. I knew a guy that took his husband to a theater that was an hour away on April Fool's, and on the way he told him he was taking him to see Morbius. He bought tickets for everything, everywhere, all at once. Oh, that's a good one. That's
fantastic.
a good trick.
I'm glad they went to see that film. That film looks fucking amazing.
All the reviews I've heard are amazing.
It's
they
the
say
proper
it's great.
multiverse film you should be seeing.
Right? Tell me about that. Also, man, when does that happen that like a slick indie movie gets one over on all the other movies by being like, yeah, we're going to be a multiverse movie before the comic book movies really get the ball rolling on it? I love that it's just an in vogue concept now, and they were able to make a cool art house movie out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, the little Asian kid from Indiana Jones is in it as the husband, and apparently he's also amazing.
Yes, his return to acting, I think.
Yes, yeah, apparently he's still got it, and he's really good.
Yeah.
I'm happy about it. I can't wait to see that one when that one's available. So that'll be good. But yeah, there's your update on Morbius, everyone. A movie that everyone knew was going to fail out of the gate, and then failed anyway, and yet some pundits are still sitting around being like, how did that happen? Because Morbius isn't a strong enough character to hold up a comic series on his own, let alone a movie. People are starting to learn, oh, don't go see the Sony ones, they're the bad ones.
Yeah, and on top of that, you cast Jared Leto as the character.
Yes, you cast Jared Leto, a guy who is already poisoning his own reputation at every turn.
Yeah, Jared Leto, who very, very clearly had a major input on the script with how he wanted Michael Morbius to be portrayed.
Oh, yes. Apparently he does like the whole dry Tony Stark, oh, aren't I the smartest, coolest guy in the room?
Well, not only that, he presents Michael Morbius as he's a very humbled, and like there's a part where he gets given the Nobel Peace Prize but declines it because he doesn't want it, you know, you know, one of those, and that feels exactly like stuff like Jared Leto would try and do for his image.
He's just a normal guy, you know, he's just like one of us, guy.
One of us, man.
He's so humble. Hashtag humble. He should get humble tattooed across his head. No. No more tattoos. No more tattoos for you, sir.
Yeah. It's just amazing. Jared Leto killed a bunch of people for like an $8 million box office opening weekend.
Yep, tell me about it. I hope it was worth it, because I know it wasn't. Moving on from there to news that isn't so ridiculous, but is also still very much tied to comic books and multimedia in general. Shang-Chi, #3, Gene Luen Yang still going strong with this book, which I need to catch up on. They had announced that issue 13 might be the last one, but it's not. They're just renaming it. Shang-Chi #13 is going to be coming Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings #1.
Yeah, makes sense.
So we're going full bore now with the movie connectivity, and yep, he's just going to get the rings in the comics if he didn't have them already.
Yeah.
And that's just what the book is going to be now. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. If they can sell a couple more Shang-Chi books and keep Gene Luen Yang working off the back of this, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. It's definitely a book I want to go back and read, because I love that the first 2 issues I read.
Yeah, that first volume of it is really strong.
Is really, really strong. You could also tell deeply personal to Yang as well, to be like, hey, I'm going to reclaim this Asian character that has been predominantly only written by white people.
Yeah, did some really fantastic stuff with the lore and everything.
Oh, yeah. Like, literally in that first page where it's like, hey, Shang, you don't sound the way you normally sound, because Shang usually spoke in broken English and everything else, and fortune cookie wisdom, and to have the character be like, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. I only did it to put white people at ease, but I'm stopping that now.
Yeah, takes them off guard.
Yeah, absolutely. So there was the news, everyone. Like I said, not much of it.
No.
But there was a lot of very interesting comics that came out this week, and we can start talking about them.
Yeah.
Where would you like to begin, Matt?
Well, let's begin over at Marvel with Dark Ages issue 6.
Yes, the big finale to this series. Boy, Boy, this was a blink and you'll miss it finale,
Oh
wasn't
man,
it?
this was really disappointing.
Tell me about it. Like, I remember, like, the issue before, I'm like, man, this one was going a little slower. I hope they, kick in the turbos at the end, and they did.
Yeah, a bit too much.
Too much so. Captain Kuhn helping us out yet again with a very nice donation. Thank you, Captain. Sony, look, we have to make one of these every few years to keep the Spider-Man film rights, so we'll blow $100 million on these and hope the big Japanese tech side doesn't shutter us. Jackpot coming 2028. Yeah, you can really see the sort of business chess that Sony is playing, can't you?
Yeah, I am, honestly surprised that, Disney and that haven't just offered them some ridiculous amount of money just to get those rights back, just
to make it stop,
just to make them stop. Yeah.
I think Sony worries. They're like, look, if we don't have this, what stick do we have to shake anymore? What other big Sony franchises can you think of?
Yeah, none.
That aren't video game
Well,
related?
maybe if they did actually something with the 22 Jump Street films.
Exactly, yes. They crossed them over with Men in Black like they said they would.
Yeah, that would have been fucking amazing.
Those guys are just the new Men in Black, and I'd be like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Apparently that, that Lost City movie is actually getting really good reviews,
yeah,
too.
I keep seeing, people talking about it, and yeah, apparently it's getting pretty good reviews and is actually legitimately funny.
When I went to go see, what was the last movie I saw? When I went to go see The Batman, I saw the trailer for it, and I was sitting there, I'm like, this is fucking stupid, Sandra Bullock. And then I'm like, oh, wait, this guy's actually really funny. And I'm like, oh, Daniel Radcliffe is the villain? No fucking way.
Yeah, it looked like it was a lot of fun.
Like, it literally won me over by the end of the trailer. I'm like, all right, this one might actually be surprising. But what were we talking about again? Oh, yeah, we were talking about Dark Ages and how we were both kind of disappointed with the end.
Yeah. It, as Chemdog says, it was over before he even finished reading it.
It really fucking was, and all these problems that they built up in the other 5 issues, the Purple Man is controlling people, he's going to make the heroes fight each other, Apocalypse is going to control the Unmaker and everything, and none of these were problems, they were all dealt with incredibly quickly.
Yeah, and just talking about the Unmaker, in that first issue, we got sold a lot on what it was and everything, and I figured
greatest threat ever.
And I'd figured we'd learn a little bit more about it as the series went on. We learned nothing.
We don't even see the Unmaker again.
No. That's the thing, because the whole thing is Apocalypse wanting to possess its body to use its power, and we never see it.
Doc Ock figures out about the plan and is killed instantly, so he debuts, does a thing, is killed.
Yeah.
Doctor Doom does not turn coat on the other heroes like we assumed he was going to. In fact, he stays resolute to the team and even talks Dracula into turncoating.
Yeah, and actually agrees with Moon Girl's plan about what to do and everything. Yeah, it's very strange, and I said in my review, it's a classic case of, so this is Tom Taylor's last work at DC. This is the classic case as he was already out of the door on his way over to DC for that exclusivity contract.
I guess so, because I'm like, why is this not longer? Why is this only 6 issues?
I expected a lot more of Tom Taylor. This doesn't feel like him at all.
And I'm like, oh, well, maybe, the whole plan is to have, a second arc, to revisit it like they did with DC Zombies. But I'm like, no, I guess he's fucking done.
The worst thing about this is this was meant to come out before COVID.
Oh,
so they had
really?
Yeah, this was teased all through 2019.
Oh fuck, you're right.
They had those teasers of the cities going dark and the planes and Iron Man falling from the sky, and all that sort of stuff. And so this book has been probably fully written for at least 2 to 3 years.
Jesus, that's disheartening to learn.
Yeah.
Man. And also, too, even for the people who are like, oh, I love the kid characters. I love getting to see
barely
the
in
second
it.
generation. They are not. They are literally told to sit at the bus, and they sit out the entire finale. They do not have anything
May Parker shows up
contribute.
in this image to be told to stay out of the issue.
Yep. The kids literally contribute nothing to the final part of the story. So I'm like, why the fuck did they even come then if they don't contribute to the final battle?
Which really confused me as to why so many people loved the book because they were in it, and they're barely in it.
They barely do anything.
Yeah.
They saved them from the Ghost Raiders, and that's about it. I will admit Deadpool killing the Purple Man was kind of funny, because it's like, cool. I'm Deadpool. I do that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did I ruin the drama here in a couple seconds? I guess for what it's worth, they do put the Invisible Woman over super strong, where she's like, oh yeah, I can give you a lobotomy by creating little shields in your brain.
Yeah. I'm like, well, why didn't you do that to begin with?
I know, right? It's like, could you always do that? I mean, yeah, it feels like you probably should have started with that. Also, Franklin Richards is fine. He was just in a prison cell. I'm like, really? So all these characters were fine?
Again, we never see him again.
No.
Either.
So there was another god level character who could reasonably fix everything because he's a fucking god.
Yeah, but yeah, never see him.
Also, they're pretty cool with like no electricity coming back and the world just remaining the way it is. I mean, it's not a dystopia, which was one of the interesting parts of it. It's a non-post-apocalyptic dystopia.
It's like a really weird message where it's like, where like Tom's saying like, the world's better, like kind of destroyed and like with no like hassle with electricity and like the noise of everything. It's a lot. But it's like comes across really fucking weird.
It does. Like, yeah, I get what he said in the beginning. It's like, yeah, you know, the world ended, but a lot of the bad people died, and everyone who remains had to rely on each other to live, and we walked back global warming and everything. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but do I have to keep shitting in a hut, though? It also feels like all of humanity is now literally dependent on super beings to live, and that doesn't sound great.
Yeah.
Like again, like when all those heroes left, they're like, oh no, you're leaving. How are we going to run our society without you?
Exactly, yeah. How is Storm going to be here to help us? No?
Yeah, to make our crops grow. Is Nightcrawler going to get us around and everything? Are the psychics going to let me make psychic phone calls?
Yeah, these people probably shouldn't be going with you on like a suicide mission, because if they die, then we technically all die as well. It
was very weird. Oh, I'm sure power scalers are going to be pissed off too because...
they are. My comments are filled with them.
Because Cyclops was able to completely atomize Wolverine and leave nothing but the skeleton.
Yeah.
Although I do think it's funny that Apocalypse is like, well, we can't kill Wolverine and we might need him. Drop him into the catacombs under Paris and we'll just get him when we need him.
Yeah, just trap him in the catacombs. That was pretty cool.
So he's just been trying to dig his way out for like decades, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
He's just been at it. And because he's basically immortal, he can't like starve to death or get dehydrated, so he's just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's but yeah, so that was Dark Ages. A little disappointing.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because like last year it was an easy shoo-in for like one of my best of the years, and
it started off really well.
Yeah, that was a disappointing ending. Detective Comics was a disappointing ending. I know that was technically from a couple weeks ago, but that's a story Matt and I were loving, and we were both like, fuck off, that can't be the end.
Yeah, I read that yesterday, and I was like, wait, I actually went back and found the issue before it just to make sure I hadn't missed something. No, apparently, the story just like ends.
It's a massive non-ending.
Yeah.
That does not answer any of the actually interesting questions.
And again, it's all because Batman showed up.
All because Batman literally ruined what was a great story.
Yeah, he fucking did.
I mean, Scarecrow ruined it too because he was also there, but still, they basically ruined it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the idea is like, well, maybe Nakano's wife kept the mask and because she told everyone to stop and they actually did, but they don't imply that she has. They don't even imply that's what happened.
Yeah, they don't even imply that Roger has the mask. So you could, from process of elimination, you think, oh, Batman's got it.
It was just done. It was so stupid too. They're like, "Oh, but we stopped the Penguin." I'm like, "Yeah, the dude who had the least amount of hooks into anything that was going on.
He wasn't really doing anything."
Yeah, and you didn't really stop him because you didn't arrest him. No. You didn't go to jail. He's still out there. You just beat up his henchmen in a motel parking lot.
Yeah.
It's like the worst. Like, yep, and we won. I'm like, no, you didn't. You didn't win anything.
There's even that hint that like Roger's gonna be doing something for Batman, but we don't know what.
Yeah.
There's no like thing of like him going and actually helping in Arkham Tower.
And freaking Arkham Tower doesn't go away either. It's sticking around. It's just Meridian is going to be in charge of it. And I'm like, wasn't Meridian in charge of Arkham Asylum before the tower? So she literally walked all the way around to get back to where she started.
Yeah, and even then, that would have been an interesting like idea to explore. That like everything in Gotham just comes back as a circle. Yeah. Like, but yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Because Riddler and multimedia synergy. Now.
Yeah, exactly. Telling the same riddle he tells in Long Halloween, the one that has no answer.
Yeah.
When is a killer not a killer when he's the holiday killer?
Yeah.
I guess, while we're continuing this train of stories that disappointed the fuck out of us, I noticed you also caught up on the final Amazing Spider-Man issue number 93.
Yes. You say it was. I thought it was amazing.
I mean, you're either going to be cheering or crying by the end. There is no in between. But yeah, so this is another ending that took me by surprise. From like, fuck, is 93 really the end?
Yep.
Because we had 2 issues of just them fucking around with the lizard and everything. I'm like, wow, this story is going really slow. I hope they hurry up here and get to the good stuff. They hurried up all right.
Yeah. They come on quick. We got to get there.
They speed runned an entire fucking ending on here. I love. We have Ben, who was pretty normal in the previous issue, but it's just like, oh, I need to face my destiny. I need to face, Maxine Danger, even if it means leaving my teammates behind. Flash forward to this issue. I'm crazy now. I got very crazy in between issues. He also beats up the Slingers, and I'm like, the fucking Slingers were in this? I'm like, oh yeah, they were in one of those tie-in stories. I guess they were working for Beyond too, and he literally beats them up in one panel, and you only see the backs of their heads. They're like, no, look, see, we totally paid that one off. We promise.
Yeah, promise.
Yeah, we paid that one off. They do answer the question that I had. I'm like, okay, well, how is Ben going to actually have a showdown with Maxine Danger? Because she's a regular person. He can't just punch her. He'll kill her.
Yeah.
And he also can't punch a woman, and the answer to that is she's basically not even there. She just holograms her way out. Before also getting in his head with, like, one of the stupidest villainous gambits ever, where it's like, yes, I took away your memories, but also you asked for it because, you felt guilty about the Jackal and everything else you had done. So this is all technically your fault, and you can get back the important anchor memories if you want, but you can only get them back from Peter by getting him to put this helmet on his head, but he won't do it because you're fucking crazy. Bye. And Ben completely falls for this.
Yeah.
Because I guess having his memories gone is making him stupid as well as completely erratic.
They took that part of his brain that dictates, like, logic.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Me, I'm dumb Ben now, which he wasn't for the whole story. Like,
No.
This whole finale only works by him being stupid and unreasonable.
Yeah, because, like, there was that whole part where, like, he was figuring out that, like, Beyond wasn't as, above board as he thought, and he was deciding on what to, like, do about it and all that sort of stuff. And then, yeah, just completely all gone.
Cosmic Reader helping us out again. Worst line I've heard a villain say, hope the food's better in this joint, plus Tomb's not worrying about his daughter. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty dumb. Much like this Spider-Man comic is very dumb. And also, like, they start piling on meta commentary in a story arc that didn't have it, where Ben's like, people only hate me because I'm new and different. People only love you because you're old and the same. And I'm like, where the fuck is this coming from?
This is the writer who's just opened Twitter.
Yeah, tell me about it. Also, this is the guy who's going to be taking over Spider-Man. I'm like, why did the characters just start loudly declaring their intentions? It's like that Futurama joke where it's like, people just don't yell the things that they're feeling. That makes me angry. That's literally what it was. And then the goo comes. The retcon goo, which is literally what it is, and Ben's like, I don't want to live anymore, I'm going in the retcon goo because I can't get my memories back.
Yeah, and he comes out as Chasm.
Chasm. Chad Chasm.
The best thing to ever happen. I love it, and I'm not going to elaborate on that.
The Chasm, the best character, the best 90s character to come out in 2022. Seriously, I just don't get it. What was the point of having Ben be our lead and, making him sympathetic and deepening his character and, showing all these different sides of him if you were just going to push him in retcon goo and have him be, I hesitate to say villain, because none of that was really his fault, but then Marvel Twitter came out and said, welcome the newest member of the Spider-Man Rogues Gallery, Chasm. I'm like, what, he's a villain? What?
Yeah, I knew it was going to go that way. Like, the minute he started, like, the last thing I actually read about it was, like, when he came back and he, like, smashed that mirror and he saw his face as, like, how he looks now as Chasm. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, they're going to make him a fucking villain.
Eric Santee there. Why do clones work for X-Men stories but not Spider-Man stories? Yeah, what's up with that?
It's just because it's not interesting.
I guess. Or I mean, it's just, or like, do clones just have such a bad taste in the mouth of Spider-Man fans in general? The best comment I read on this one is like, wow, for the longest time I didn't know who hated Ben more, the fans or the writers, but I think this story finally clinches it. The writers hate him more. Because, like, a lot of fans were genuinely on Ben's side. Like, it had worked. Like, yeah, man, I hope he finds his place in the Spider-Man legacy. Yeah, I hope him and Peter can live together and everything. Fucking guess not.
No. Again, that's where it looks like the story was going. And then, they just completely, like, we're going to subvert your expectations, but in the worst way possible.
Tell me about it. Captain Kun, Spider-Man Beyond should have been Ben Reilly's swan song. Let him and Janie get a happy ending together. Yeah, that's all you need to do. They beat Maxine Danger. They, reveal her to the world of all the evil she's done. And then Ben and Janie just, like, walk off into the sunset.
Yeah, he becomes like a Spider-Man of like a different city or something. They go out to LA or something,
Which they technically tried to do, with Kane when he became the Scarlet Spider in Texas. But I mean,
who gives a shit about Kane,
Yeah. Man, I really thought Kane was going to show up in this at some point, and it didn't. There was just so much in this ending, like, I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it never did. I kept waiting for another twist, another revelation, like, oh, the Jackal was actually Maxine Danger this whole time, the Ben we've been dealing with is actually another clone.
Yeah.
Nope, actually.
Yeah, it's like a clone of Ben Reilly, which is why he's got all the fucked up memories and everything. It didn't happen properly or something.
Yeah, because he's like a Xerox of a Xerox.
Yeah.
But no, none of that happened. And even the shit with Spectrum didn't happen. I'm like, wait, weren't Spectrum and the Daughters of the Dragon already investigating Beyond before Spider-Man even got involved? Shouldn't they have been involved? Nope, I guess not. So yeah, none of it mattered in the end.
No.
How disappointing. And like literally as soon as the book was already done, Zeb Wells is like, oh yeah, and pick up my new #1 coming soon, everyone. Here's like God coming to talk to Mary Jane and Peter, who have decided they're going to move back in together.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, exactly, Dave Bigland. Move Ben to the West Coast, send him to Europe. Send him to space. Let him be a Guardian of the Galaxy.
Hey, the best Ben Reilly has been during this era was when he was written by Christopher Cantwell in Iron Man, where he was off in space with the Space Friends.
Yeah, literally. Make him a science fiction spacefaring Spider-Man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm not your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm your friendly galactic Spider-Man.
Again, yeah, perfect.
That story writes itself. Have Ben be like, look, there's no place for me on Earth. I'll always be living in Peter's shadow, but out here in the galaxy, I can be whatever I want to be.
Maybe he decides to go like live on like Mars, Araco.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The mutants have decided to take me in.
Yeah, no one else will have me.
Yes, so I'm just here on Mars now. Yeah, again, there's so many potential places they could have taken that story, and they just kind of didn't.
No.
Very, very weird. I hope the next arc will be better with Zeb Wells. I'm sure it will be. But man, we're 2 for 2 now, and I guess maybe 3 for 3 if we count. Actually, I think Slott actually had a good finale to his Spider-Man. It had nothing to do with his run, but his very final word on Spider-Man was like this annual that was like a nice feel-good issue about like a dude who knew Spider-Man and like wanted to be a better person because of Spider-Man. That was a better ending.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tevia, can we move Ben Reilly to the multiverse? Yeah, again, drop him off in a universe where Spider-Man never existed, or where Peter never existed.
Yeah, something interesting.
Yeah, it was the Beyond Corporation too, so clearly they have portals to the multiverse. Yeah. I thought that was going to be a thing too, like, no, this isn't the real Ben, this is a multiverse version of Ben they picked up.
Yeah, where like it was from a universe where like clone conspiracy or something happened, but like Peter died and Ben was left to be the Spider-Man or something. Yeah,
they had so many options and they didn't do any of them.
Bland Man had Ben attend therapy. He tried that and his therapist turned out to be a villain.
Yeah, who is still a villain, by the way. Kafka is still Queen Goblin. They never fixed that either. There's like several things from the end of the story they didn't bother to fix. Jace Jensen, Peter lost 2 brother figures, Harry and then Ben, and yet that wasn't touched on at all. Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah.
I mean, he felt bad about it for like a minute in his hospital bed, but then it's like, oh, my recovery's doing really good, and Mary Jane wants me to move in again.
Yeah, I'm gonna go stop criminals and get hit in the face by Captain America's shield.
Yep. Can't live in the past. Sorry, dude. I'm a young, swinging, happy guy. Yeah. I'm alive and you're not. Also, does that mean that, like, Zeb Wells has to write about Chasm in the next story arc?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Does that mean we'll have to deal with him at some point, or is this going to be one of those things where it's like, yep, that happened for the next writer who's not me? I mean, like, shit, at that point, you might as well have just fucking killed him again, honestly.
Yeah, well, again, we could always have a writer that just comes in and is like, no, that's stupid. I'm going to kill him, or, like, revert him or something.
Which comics are famous for that. Actually, hey, if we talk about Immortal X-Men, actually, I think Mr. Sinister could fix this problem in, like, 2 seconds.
Yeah, he could.
Actually, as someone in the comments said, why didn't they call Jean? Isn't Jean a psychic? Couldn't she make copies of memories? She'd done that before. Couldn't she have fixed this whole thing?
That's literally
like
the whole thing with, like, Cerebro and everything, copying people's memories.
Yeah. Eric Santi helping us out again. In Timeless One-Shot, wasn't Ben the Spider-Man of Hollywood? Oh, fuck, yeah, that did happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, Ben is technically the Spider-Man in Devil's Reign right now, so that will now be a weird part of this event where it's like, why the fuck was it the other guy? Because he was at the time, but it didn't matter.
Yep.
So fucking weird. What a weird-ass piece of Spider-Man history this will be. Yo, remember that couple months where it was the clone again, but then it ended up not amounting to anything?
Yeah, it ended up some bullshit way.
Yeah, where he became the new 90s character, whoever 90s. Also, are his powers different, or is just his costume different?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, too, where it's like, oh, I've lost all my memories of Peter Parker. You know, I am my own man now. Ben Reilly is finally free. Cool, but why are you still wearing a spider suit, though?
Yeah, you're still using spider-like powers. You got the webs and everything, and
yeah, shouldn't your costume become something else? You know, Bucky was able to get out from the shadow of Captain America by getting a new costume that wasn't Captain America themed.
No, yeah.
That usually helps. You know, you go the Nightwing route where you become someone new and different.
Yeah, hey, maybe he'll become that spider smasher or whatever the fuck that whole thing is they teased.
Or Spider Smasher kills Chasm to clean up continuity. Yeah, I made a terrible mistake.
That's he kills him off panel or something. Yeah.
There you go. He died off panel. No, doesn't matter. He died. He died on his way to his home planet. But yeah, wow. So that's 3 incredibly disappointing books we read back to back.
Yeah, but I'm about to make it 4.
Oh, what's the 4th one?
The 4th one is the finale for the War of Earth 3.
Oh, shit, yeah, which I can't believe that's over so soon. I was reading the solicitations, and it's like, oh, Suicide Squad 14. I'm like, oh, well, surely this is a tie-in. It isn't?
No, it's not, which it should be, which does make... Again, to explain this, I'm going to actually have to, like, go through the entire, like, 4-issue arc, because it is...
Please do.
It is one of the most inexplicable, random... storylines I have ever read. It made me so mad that it made me like Tom King Batman mad.
Yeah, it sure sounded like it. Yeah, it sure sounded like you were losing your goddamn mind.
Oh my god. So like the first 2 issues are really good. The War for Earth 3 issue 1 and the Suicide Squad issue 13 are both really good. They set up the event we set up with Waller going to Earth 3 and actually teaming with the Crime Syndicate to take down their problems, so like Ultraman doesn't have to worry about it. All good. Rick Flag's got to be fighting them. Then the Flash issue happens and has no ties whatsoever to the event. We have Johnny Quick coming over back to Earth Prime to steal the Cosmic Treadmill.
Right.
Never comes up again. Never mentioned again at all.
What a fucking waste.
Never fucking mentioned again. Teen Titans, the Titans Academy issue. Rick Flag returns to Earth Zero to recruit the Titans in their fight for Earth 3 for no reason. Yeah, why is he doing this? Why isn't he going to the Justice League? Why isn't he going to any of the other multiple teams?
Why is Flag recruiting a bunch of children? Hey, you want to be my child soldier?
Oh, he's recruiting Nightwing and Starfire and all that, not the kids. But the kids end up sneaking on to the plane
of
anyway.
course.
In that issue as well, they introduce just randomly in just a panel. She's not like, we're not told why she's there. The Earth 8 version of Harley Quinn. And I suspect the writer didn't know that Harley Quinn isn't on the Suicide Squad at the moment, and wrote that she's, you know, joined the crew, and then suddenly at the last minute, just say she's from Earth 8. And Earth 8 is the Marvel universe, so technically she shouldn't be there, and the Suicide Squad on that Earth is the Thunderbolts. So
yes, that's right.
Doesn't make any fucking sense anyway.
This is another writer who will be done Sheridan when this is all done.
Yeah, they end up helping. They decide to help Rick Flag, and the students all sneak onto the ship and everything. So now we get to the final issue of this event so far.
The big finale.
Yeah, which is just a continuation of that first issue where we see the fight happen. The kids from the Titans Academy end up trying to get one over on Waller and try and capture her, and she just laughs them off and immediately captures them.
Sounds about right.
And then Dick, as soon as he gets there, decides, okay, we're going home now.
Fuck off.
Yeah, he ends up fighting a little bit, and then Waller calls like a stalemate to show that she has the kids, and then she's like, I'm not going to hurt these children. I'm just going to send them home. And Dick's like, okay, we're going home too. Fuck this Earth. Fuck it.
Does Bolt get involved in this? Because Bolt was obviously like her agent on the Titans.
Bolt is mentioned once in that Titans book where she's like, I want to come and help as well because Flash and Kid Flash want to help out and everything. Oh, yeah, and the Flash never mentions Johnny Quick stealing the Cosmic Treadmill to anyone. That doesn't come up to anyone. But yeah, she's told, no, stay behind. And she's not even part of the squad that actually ends up sneaking onto the ship and everything, and she's just mentioned once and then never seen again.
That's so fucking stupid, because Bolt was the Flash in the Future State book by Robbie Thomas, and she was cool because she was like the one who didn't like the idea of what everyone was doing. Oh, that is missed opportunity. That's fucking dumb.
Oh, fuck, what else happens? So yeah, the whole in the Suicide Squad part of this book, Johnny Quick also steals the Phantom Zone projector from Superwoman's ice fortress on Earth 3, and the plan is to use it to like blackmail Ultraman and like trap him in it, so they don't have to worry about him fucking everything up. Rick Flag is told this plan and then immediately smashes the mirror.
Right.
For no real reason other than that he doesn't trust Waller, even though Waller's like, I'm about to use this to trap this Superman who's killing everyone, he's literally throwing buildings at people at the moment. and he's like, no, I don't trust you, and he smashes the mirror. They try and fix the mirror. Oh, fuck this. Oh my god, this is just so frustrating. They fix the mirror by having the power ring just create a construct of it, and that construct becomes a Phantom Zone projector.
I don't think that's how that works.
No, it's not how it works, and it ends up trapping Ultraman in it, and they seal him in like the Phantom Zone, and they use it's again made because we're not explained any of this. He's like put into this device that Waller uses to take Earth 3 out of the multiverse.
Right, which was kind of what we saw in Future State.
But we're not. We don't know how this device was made, or it was made by like that Khonshu looking fella. Yorick.
Oh yeah, who they say.
But like it happened off panel. Like he just designs this huge device that moves an Earth.
This really sounds like a crossover that should not have been a crossover.
No, the Flash and the Teen Titans Academy book had no, didn't need to be in here at all. And then. Yeah, the book just kind of ends with kind of that team from Future State with like Match becoming a Superman, but he wears a black suit, and then it's like a mismatch of like Crime Syndicate members and like Suicide Squad members who stayed with Waller, and it just kind of ends.
That sounds fucking bad.
Captain Coon, it was fucking awful.
Captain Coon helping us out again. Nightwing doing the Grandpa Simpson meme there, where he walks in and instantly walks
he
out. He
fucking literally does. He does like this is Nightwing who like I would think like okay, there's a world in peril being like overrun by like a psycho Superman and like Waller and
save
everything.
them.
I have to save them. No, I'm just going to go home because I've got to look after these children because Red X is still out there.
Oh, that's fucking lame. That's
Yeah.
real clown shoes lame.
Oh,
that
it-
sucks.
It was so fucking bad.
That sucks too, because the build up to this was so good, and it ties into Future State, like one of the few stories that was like, hey, here's a big payoff to what we showed you in Future State.
Yeah, the first 2 issues of this event were really damn good, and then it went to the Flash and the Titans Academy, which had no, I don't even know, like that Flash when he stole the cosmic treadmill, for what? They didn't even fucking use it in the event. What the fuck is going on?
That is too many writers on an event that only one person cared about, but they needed to meet their deadline and they didn't care how it went. And also, too, writers that, let us not forget, are done in a few issues anyway, so extra reason where they're like, why do I care if this is good or not? You still got to pay me. I'm still done.
It just ruined a perfectly good event.
That blows.
It
Jeez,
does.
I might not read it then, or maybe I'll skim through it. I'll skip Flash and Titans now that I know they don't matter.
Yeah, you can just skip them. You won't miss anything.
Oh, that's
Nothing.
a bummer. That's not great.
Yeah.
Now I promise we did actually read some good stuff.
Yes, there are good books. It just so happened that this week was filled with a bunch of shit as well.
A lot of disappointment. A book that actually surprised me with its quality, especially because I actually thought the story that led into it was a little disappointing. That's Joshua Williamson's Shadow War Alpha, which is the big new Batman Deathstroke Robin crossover.
Yeah, I read this earlier. I haven't done my review on it yet, but I have read it.
Yeah, so again, it follows up basically exactly where the Robin book left off. Damian and his mom and Raish are all on good terms now, but Raish is dying. He's contracted the same mysterious disease that killed his mother and made him put her in the Lazarus Pit the first time.
Yeah, Super AIDS or something, yeah.
Or something, yeah. There's also something wrong with the Lazarus Pit, but we don't know yet.
There's always something wrong with the Lazarus Pit.
Isn't it? Isn't it always? But yeah, Raish's whole thing is like, okay, if I'm dying, if my back is against the wall, I want to go out on my own terms. I have decided that I am going to basically turn myself into the DEO. And hey, Cameron Chase showed back up again because this is a Joshua Williamson book and we're tying in Infinite Frontier.
Yeah, he did say that there was going to be big like things for Dark Crisis in this event, which is why I'm reading it, is in the first place, really.
We also know now from the last issue of Deathstroke took over the Secret Society of Supervillains because he too is seeing visions of the Great Darkness and he needs a group of villains to fight it. I'm like, oh, well, that's an interesting something.
That's cool. I wonder why he's seeing them, of all people.
Yeah, of all people. I mean, they tie in the idea that his daughter has, like, future sight too, but she, like, lost her future sight.
Yep.
But because maybe she's scared to look at the Great Darkness and know what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, some very interesting ideas being played with there. Raish, he goes to give his big talk and everything and says, I want to make Lazarus technology available for the whole world. And it's like, really? After just hearing it's cursed? That's interesting. Why would you do a thing like that? Also, people who try and bring the world together in brotherhood and make everyone better and give people, free medicine usually end up getting assassinated. John Lennon, Gandhi, all those, and he's assassinated. Fuck. How about that?
Yeah, so he's assassinated by a Deathstroke who's wearing the classic Deathstroke costume.
One we have not seen in years, literally years.
Yep.
So that's crazy. Batman has to get involved because he's overlooking it, and this comes at the worst possible time because it cuts in to the time he thought he could reconcile with his son. Him and Damian see each other for the first time in what feels like real-life years.
It's been a while.
It's been a very long time, and I love Oracle on the comm being like, Batman, for the love of God, hug your child. And Batman like, no, it's not part of the mission.
No, don't care.
Nowhere in the mission parameters did it say I have to show affection to my son. He's fine. He's probably fine. I'll give him a nice firm handshake. That's just as good. I'm an emotional anorexic. But yeah, so they do that. The Deathstroke guy's like, ha ha ha, Batman, I got you. You can either, chase me down or you can save Raish's body before I blow it up with a grenade, meaning that no Lazarus Pit can save him.
Yeah.
And Damian decides to save the body, which means Batman has to swoop on in to save him. But yeah, Raish's body is destroyed.
Yeah, he's killed.
Yes, gone forever, assumedly.
Yeah.
Though in classic comic terms, no body, no death.
Yeah. We're coming up to a crisis event. Doesn't matter.
See, exactly. We can kill whoever we want, and the whole universe is probably going to be reset anyway. And this pisses Damian off because he's like, God damn it, Batman, once again, you know, you've taken 2 grandfathers from me. And Batman's like, hey, damn it, you got me. Shit, I hate it that you're old enough to, like, state precedent now. And Damian's like, yeah, you know, I wanted to tell you how cool my anime tournament was and the hot goth girl I met and everything, but now I hate you again, Batman. I'm going to go track Deathstroke down on my own, and maybe I'll kill him, maybe I won't. I haven't decided yet. And we flash over with Deathstroke and the Secret Society, and we find out that he's actually been training his new clone son, Respawn, this whole time. And he's like, what? That wasn't me. I didn't do that. I haven't worn that costume in years. Ah, fuck, someone's framing me.
Yeah, god damn it.
It's one of those stories, one of them good old frame-ups.
Yeah.
I like to, Talia al Ghul brings together a bunch of our favorite lesser-known assassins, and also some characters we haven't seen in years, like Mara al Ghul, Damian's cousin. I'm glad someone remembered she existed.
Yeah.
You know, she's the black sheep of the family, you know, doesn't get invited to Christmas, but gets invited to go fight Deathstroke in the League of Supervillains. Hey, it's dangerous and you might die, Mara, you get to come. But yeah, pretty fun setup. Also, too, I don't know if you read the Deathstroke before, Matt, but Respawn, we now know, is actually a clone son of Deathstroke, and Talia is his mom.
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
So, again, it's like Joshua Williamson read that story from a couple of years ago from Christopher Priest about, like, oh, what if Deathstroke was actually the real father of Damian, and then that ended up being a fake out. So Williamson was like, yeah, but what if it was true, though? What if I just make a whole other character? And he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's the setup for Shadow War, and pretty cool.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Williamson is very good at writing these types of stories where they seem dumb on paper, but in action they're actually very cool.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, and he's got a way of like corralling it as well, where this could come off as just incomprehensible garbage.
It could also come out as like 13-year-old tryhard stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and then the Society of Supervillains and the League of Assassins, and they all fight each other. Oh, and Batman and Robin hate each other, and they're there too. Oh, and Damian has a clone with fun white hair, and oh, they fight. Like, it could be stupid, but it's like, nah, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's actually pretty good. I like it. I am interested to read the tie-ins from this too, to see how the story actually flows. And like you said, now that we know that it's actually connected to Dark Crisis too, so it could actually be important reading. They could drop some very important tidbits of info.
Knowing Joshua Williamson, he probably will.
Yeah, probably. So it also became a must-read. I'll tell you what, Shadow War was so good, I instantly forgot how disappointed I was with the end of his Batman. his first Batman arc. I'm like, you know what, this is fine.
Yeah.
All is forgiven. This is where you're going. All is forgiven. Because you did the cool thing. What else did you have this week, Matt?
I had Batman Beyond the White Knight.
Yes, I had this too. It was just the 3rd or 4th installment, not counting the Mr. Freeze one, in the Sean Gordon Murphyverse.
4th if you include the Harley Quinn book.
Right, yeah, because it was Batman White Knight, Batman Curse of White Knight, the Mr. Freeze one-shot, the Harley series, and now this. So, yeah, it's technically the 5th.
Yeah.
And, pretty goddamn... I did not know what to expect going into this, and this also kind of blew away all my expectations.
Yeah, this is pretty damn cool. So we get a bit of a time jump.
Yeah, like over a decade at least.
Yeah, Bruce is still serving his time in prison, and he's laying down the law against all of the sons of Azrael who have spawned up in the prisons.
I love that. It's not the sons of Batman in the Frank Miller future. It's the sons of Azrael. That's a very fun gimmick.
Yeah, and he's been kind of keeping the peace along with Jason Todd, who's like his warden, sort of prison guard who's assigned to him sort of guy.
Yeah, who, as we find out in this issue, was actually the first Robin in this universe, and Dick was second.
Yeah, I like that change.
Yeah, because it's like, well, he had to fuck up once, right? There's no way he would have got it right the first time.
No, yeah, and that fuck up once was fucking Jason Todd.
Was really bad.
Yeah, and as we learn through the previous iterations, we learn that this time Joker didn't kill Jason. He let him go after learning who Batman is.
But he still destroyed his life anyway,
Yeah,
which was
yeah, yeah.
probably part of his plan, because he knew there'd be no coming back from that, and that Batman would have to live with the shame that he's still living with now.
Yeah, and we learn that Jason, because he didn't die, he like spent like a lot of time on the streets and like through odd jobs in the military and all that stuff. And it all led him back to Gotham, where he became Red Hood again, which we're gonna get in like there's like a tie-in issue or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a whole thing like, man, the Murphyverse only gets bigger.
Yeah, because he's got he has his own Robin as well.
Yes, he had a secret Robin that we'll get to learn all about. I'm imagining it does not end well for her.
No, not that because he's not there. Yeah.
Yeah, I can only assume it ended very badly for her.
Yeah.
We see what becomes of the GTO in this future, that like superhero cop like division that Batman helped create. And surprise, surprise, in this future, they have become fascist super cops who have divorced themselves from the police, are wearing Batman costumes and lording over everyone with their high-tech military gear.
Yeah, and their military gear is provided by Derek Powers, who...
How about that?
Who, in the decades since Bruce has been in jail, has, like, moved in, like, some corporate raider on Wayne Enterprises and taken it all over, taken all these assets over and shuttered basically everything Bruce set up at the end of that Curse of the White Knight, with like all the stuff that was helping Duke Thomas's people and all that stuff.
All of it.
Undid it all to put it all back into like military R&D.
Which is a beautiful piece of writing, not just in the story, but also from a meta sense too. Because if you remember, Sean Gordon Murphy rightly caught hell from a lot of people on social media for being, you know, very unkind to the Black Lives Matter movement, which in turn made people kind of reevaluate the end of Curse of White Knight, where it's like, wait a minute, so the day is saved according to Murphy because the police got a blank check to do whatever they want and a bunch of Batman tag. Oh, Sean, no. So in this book, it's kind of like him saying, yeah, maybe I was wrong about a couple things, or I want you to think I'm wrong about a couple things, so you'll keep reading my books, and you'll never know what I think anymore because I'm gone from Twitter.
Yeah, or that was like the point.
Always the plan.
Yeah, that was always the plan for it to happen. But yeah, he's taken over that, and we learned that Terry McGinnis works for him and is some type of guy who's been assigned to get like the bat suit, or like the most dangerous bat suit ever. One that because as we learned that Derek Powers also was the one who kind of helped Bruce build a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, which is a really interesting new take on the character.
Yeah, but he didn't help him build this one particular bat suit. Bruce did that all himself. And we learned that the bat suit is the Batman Beyond suit.
Naturally.
Yeah.
And you know it's the future, it's the Batman Beyond future, because everything looks like Akira now.
Yeah, Akira or Ghost of the Shell.
Very much so. Everything became very Japanese influenced in 10 years.
Yeah.
I love what they do with Harley Quinn in this book, because obviously she's still a single mom, still raising her 2 kids. Bryce is the good son who is doing well in school and is a model citizen, but Jackie is now revering her father, the Joker, and is dressing like a total punk.
Yeah, she read some 4chan posts on the truth behind Jack Napier and what his deal was, and
she's clown pilled.
Yeah, yeah, she's even wearing like the Joker's shirt with the bat symbol that he had on. Yeah.
Yeah, that weird Robin Williams shirt where I'm like, oh, that's fun. They brought this back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's being really hard to deal with for her mom. I love she calls her mom Puddin' just to get under her
just
skin.
Just to fuck with her, yeah.
I'm like, that's fun. That's funny. That's really good writing. Say what you want about Sean Gordon Murphy's personal politics. The man fucking knows story structure. But yeah, that's good. Bruce realizes, all right, I'm sick of this shit. There's a new Batman running around. Derek Powers has perverted everything I ever tried to do with Gotham. I need to escape and set this right, because I'm the one to blame for all of this.
And he escapes prison to try and stop this, but Jason finds him and's like, hey, it's a different city out there now. You know, it's kind of fucked. You know, this isn't Batman's city anymore.
Yeah, which is very interesting turn of phrase there. And they kind of have their moment there, you know, where they talk about life and everything, and it's like there's clearly a lot left unsaid. I love that they've been in jail together for like a decade and still never worked out their problem.
Yeah.
you know, sorry I was more of a big brother and a friend. Sorry I was never the father you needed me to be. But yeah, he lets him go. He does his daring aquatic escape there when he hears a very familiar voice calling out to him. And it seems to be Jack Napier, back from the dead.
Well, I don't think he's back from the dead. I think Bruce is like seeing him in his head. It's very obvious that that's how it's framed and everything. That Bruce.
It could be, or we could totally be taking another page from Batman Beyond, and this is like a clone or a person with like an implant to make them into the Joker.
Yeah, I could see that, but I think it's going to be all in his head.
Quite possibly. You know, my greatest foe exists inside my mind, and I need to overcome him.
Yeah.
Love Napier's design because he's like regular Napier, but he's pale and he's got like a string of green and a string of purple in his hair. It's a very fun look. The designs are all very solid here.
They're very good, yeah.
Very good design. So yeah, Beyond the White Knight starts off on a very strong foot.
Very strong.
Again, this whole interconnected universe has really become one hell of an interconnected universe, and only going to get bigger with that Red Hood story.
Yeah, I really hope, again, we've talked about it before, but I want them to branch out into like other heroes, because I think they mentioned like Metropolis in this issue.
Yes, they did, because Jason worked in Metropolis.
Yes, he worked at Strikers Island. That's right.
Yeah, because you got to wonder if this is what Batman looks like. What does the world of Superman or Flash or Aquaman look like?
Exactly.
Here?
Like, give us more of that.
Yeah, that would definitely be fun. Maybe that'll be the end of the story. Maybe that'll be the twist. Maybe we'll see Superman with salt and pepper in his hair show up.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And be like, hey, you know, we've been without a Batman on our Justice League for like a decade. Hey, Terry, how would you like to join?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Nice remixing on Terry, too, to where now he's the one working for Derek Powers, where in the show, Derek Powers is the one who killed his father.
Yeah, well, you have to wonder, like, how much of that is going to translate over into this. Maybe Derek convinced him that, like, Bruce killed his father or something, or, like, Jack or someone.
Yeah, I mean, this series, the whole White Knight series, has been really good at remixing stuff from multiple sources.
Exactly, yeah.
This is also probably the most I've been invested in a Batman Beyond comic story, because I feel everyone else who tried to do it either didn't understand it, didn't watch the show, and just started making shit up.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we got actually a new Batman Beyond book starting this week.
I know we do. I saw the ad in there. I'm like, oh, that's a fun bit of synergy.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be covering it, considering the White Knight video here did, like, gangbusters on my channel.
I know, right? Yeah, tell me about it. Eric Sandy helping us out again. Thoughts on DC's new round robin vote? Oh yeah, I knew I forgot something from the news this week.
Yeah, I actually forgot about that as well. I had it I had like the image saved somewhere.
Definitely some fun ideas, though I think doing it the second time, it's like, isn't it a little cruel to pit a bunch of your creators against each other? Isn't this just assuring that there will be disappointment and heartbreak at the end of this? I know when I covered the Robin book, I had to stop because the fans were just so fucking unbelievable. No one was talking about the book. They were just complaining about the book they didn't get.
Yeah. As I said, just, greenlight them all.
Yeah,
they don't have to be like ongoing series. You can just do like a one shot.
Yeah. Hey, digital, you have a fucking digital arm, right?
Yeah. And all of them sounded like really quite cool.
Yeah. We got a Kid Flash one. We got an Animal Man one. We got The Questions.
Yeah, there was a Justice League Redacted, a cool Green Lantern book. Yeah, sounded like some pretty cool stuff.
Suicide Squad Dark, that has a very particular place in my heart, because I literally pitched that like a couple years ago on the internet in a video that was seen many times. I'm not saying I was ripped off. I'm just saying, isn't it kind of interesting? I know industry people watch the channel. I'm just saying, next time, give me an inspired by credit. It's fine. just let old Joel wet his beak a little bit is all I'm asking. But yes, they look fun. No telling what one's going to win. I think the Robin one won just because Robin had the bigger, stronger fan base. Of all the ones that are in here, I can't quite tell.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing about this is I don't think there's a single Batman book which has high hopes that we'll actually get something creative.
Yeah, and something new and something not Batman related. But yeah, I totally agree with you, said. Just fucking greenlight them all, please.
Yeah, do greenlight them all and do them as like one like big like anthology book.
Oh, that's good. I like
where
that.
They're all like a little story in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hell, greenlight like just even the top 4 or 5 even.
Yeah.
And make it like a big event.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Yeah, I would really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So was that all? Oh no, I had one last new one from this week, and it was Immortal X-Men, but you didn't read it yet.
Oh, you can tell me about it because I had one book that you haven't read yet either.
Okay, I will be very quick with Immortal X-Men. So yes, we're kicking off the brand new era of X-Men. This is definitely meant to be the book to check out because they literally reprint a bunch of the appendices from other books, all the big important ones.
Yep.
We see what happens to the Council after Xavier and Magneto got in trouble for conspiring with Moira.
Mm-hmm.
And in classic Magneto fashion, he's like, well, if I don't get to control everything from the shadows anymore, fuck you guys, I'm going to Mars, I quit.
Yep.
So he straight up quits the council, and Emma's like, fine, bitch, don't let the door hit you on the way out, I run this council now.
Yeah, and she does.
Yeah, this is my place. You fuck off to mutant retirement on Mars. And she's like, okay, well, shit, I guess we got to get a new person on the council now. You know, who do we want? So there's like a ton of auditions, like Angel, I'm a good businessman, I can be on it. Beast, I do good war crimes, let me on. My favorite is Gorgon, who just shows up, unsheaths his sword, and is like, me.
Yeah.
And it's like strong, pretty strong, honestly.
You should have done that like anime thing where you like quickly unsheath it and like a piece of fruit like falls open or something. Yeah.
Now let us also not forget that Gorgon still has the mind of a toddler following the events of X of Swords.
Yes.
So I would very much like him to be on the Quiet Council for Diversity. Hey Gorgon, what do you think? Pudding. Right,
yes. Pudding for all.
Yes, we'll take that under advisement. Geez, we were gonna bomb the humans, but yeah, we should give them pudding. Yeah, they'll like that much.
Oh yeah. Beast. Make some like poison pudding that like grow when they eat it. It grows plants out of them or something.
The book also does a great job reminding you everything that's been happening in all the other books as it relates to the council members. So they're like, hey, Storm is pulling double duty as Queen of Mars. Nightcrawler's starting a religion. Friggin' Colossus is a sleeper agent but doesn't know it.
Yep.
And Mr. Sinister has set up another evil cloning lab despite being stopped several times from doing that.
Yep.
He's like, what do they care? The council's so busy fighting each other, they're not watching me.
Yeah, this is the least war crimey thing that I've done.
Absolutely. In the end, they actually decide, Hope would actually be a good addition to the team because she's, a prominent member of the Five, and the Five basically always seem to be caught in the pissing contest of everyone on the council, and everyone loves them, so shouldn't they get to be have a voice?
Yeah, and Xavier obviously doesn't want that.
No, of course, Xavier doesn't want to do it. Selene, they almost let Selene on, the vampire Nazi mutant who's magic.
Yes.
Yeah, she has a hell of a pitch where she's like, look, so I'm magical, right? And I'm always bringing people back from the dead of zombies. Let me work with the Five, and I bet I could resurrect all of Genosha. Not as zombies this time.
Like what happened in that one,
Necronosha?
That Wanda Empire tie-in that no one references.
Yeah, so that happened twice. Actually, Selene talks shit about Wanda, actually, saying Apocalypse is gone, you don't have any magic muscle on the team anymore. A bunch of monsters attacked the island, and, I could have helped if I was a member. And when she doesn't get it, she literally sticks a monster on the Quiet Council in the island.
That's great.
Because Selene is just the sorest fucking loser ever.
Oh, God.
Not that Sinister cares, because Sinister's like, that's fine. I was enjoying what I was doing in my lab anyway.
Yeah.
And you know what he's doing in his lab? You know what the big twist is?
I do know the big twist.
He's cloned Moira several times, in fact.
Yeah.
He keeps cloning Moira in hopes that he can basically use their powers to live whole lives and gain information for himself, which is why through the whole book, Sinister knew shit that he shouldn't have known.
Yeah, knew shit before it was happening and everything, yeah.
Yes, so Sinister has essentially stolen Moira's power to kind of see the future.
I love it.
Yeah. It's really fucking good. And I'm like, all right, this is pretty strong shit.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And he invokes Chimera mutants again, which is an idea. They're like, no, we didn't forget about that. That didn't fall by the wayside. He's still cooking up that idea.
Yep.
So yeah, Immortal X-Men, very fun, a little dry, a little Sorkin-y political thriller that I'm sure will turn some people off, but if you need a refresher course on everything that's been happening, at least read this one.
Exactly, yeah, it's the new era of Krakoa mutants now.
Yes, and we'll be getting even more new X-Men books next week.
Yeah.
Eric Sandy helping us out again. So glad that I can ignore Wolverine again. Great start for Destiny of X. I love how overdramatic every character in Immortal X-Men is. Oh yeah, they're all going for the fucking drama prize.
Yeah, it's like a big soap opera, basically.
It's literally they put all the drama kids in one classroom and now they can't stop being mean to each other.
Yep.
It's kind of wonderful. If you love that vibe, you'll love Immortal X-Men.
Yeah.
Now, what was the book you read this week that I didn't?
The last book I read this week was DC vs. Vampires, issue 6.
Oh, yes. I don't think we've talked about this on the show once. I think this whole thing came and went.
I think we might have once.
Maybe. I know I didn't get to read it because I said, I'll review, what is it, Task Force Z, and then I didn't stick with it.
This is the issue where like sort of everything starts sort of coming together about time, because the last 2 issues were kind of like middling. But yeah, this issue, the Bat family regroup after the Vampire, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern attacked them, and the Justice League were turned on them, but the Justice League weren't vampires. They were just made to believe that Batman and Oliver had been turned into vampires.
Right.
But Wonder Woman and Green Lantern show up at their hideout, and they're acting like envoys. They just want to talk. They just want to talk. They try and talk down Batman and Green Arrow and the Bat family, but they're not hearing any of it, so they end up getting into a big fight. Batgirl, meanwhile, has teamed with the Suicide Squad to take down another part of the Suicide Squad that were vampires. So King Shark and Parasite had been turned into vampires, and
they eat a lot. It's
done in such a great way where like their comms went down because there was a big blackout because the vampires caused a giant blackout so they could make their moves. And the comms come back online, and Harley contacts Waller and's like, hey, yeah, King Shark and Parasite, they're like turned against us. So Waller just blows up their bombs and like kills him. But then she also blows up Captain Boomerangs because Harley failed to mention that he was there as well. So like Captain Boomerang just dies.
Oops.
But her whole deal, Batgirl's whole mission was to find the Joker, because they think the Joker is the Vampire Lord, because all the evidence was pointing to him being the Vampire Lord. They find him, but they find that Joker has been killed.
Oh.
And she figures out that all of the evidence was planted and made them think that someone wanted them to think that the Joker was the Vampire Lord, and that someone is in the Bat family. And that is when we learn that the Vampire Lord is Nightwing.
Oh shit!
Who kills Batman.
How very Simpsons vampire special. Mom, you were the head vampire all along. Well, yeah, I have a life outside this house, you know.
He kills Batman, and he ends up fighting the Bat family, and he breaks Cassandra's arm. He kills Damian, I think. It's left really ambiguous. He stomps on Tim's head, blows his head open.
Poor Tim.
So Oliver escapes with the injured Cassandra, Batman, and Alfred in like the Bat sub, as Jason stays behind to like fight Dick, and Dick's just being such a dick to him. He's like, I was better than you when I was a human, and now I'm a god, so now I'm like even better. And
don't get a lot of evil Dick Grayson stories, do you?
I know, it's great. And his whole deal is he just wanted to turn one of his brothers so he could like be with them forever and everything. And he ends up turning Jason, but then Jason signals Oliver, and Oliver like shoots an arrow through his heart and kills him.
Which is very helpful for vampires. Green Arrow finally pulling his weight.
And the book ends with the Vampire Lord ruling over the earth, and we find that like they've taken control of Firestorm, and they've used Firestorm to burn the world's forests, to cover the world in a cloud of ash to block the sun. Superman has been turned as well, and he's destroying all the pieces of government, like the White House and everything. And a lot of the other heroes don't even know any of this was actually happening, because this happened all in the span of like a night. So
down-ranting.
Yeah, so like the Justice League Dark have no idea what's happening. Steel, all these other heroes have no idea what's happening, but it's all too late, because like the Justice League are now all vampires, and like Superman's a vampire. How are you gonna fucking stop that, you know?
Not easily.
Yeah, and I guess that the next 6 issues are gonna be with like other people, other characters or something. Because like we've been following Batman for most of this, and
Yeah, I was
he's
gonna say.
like fucking dead.
Huh.
So yeah, I'm intrigued to see where they were going to go. I was really worried because like the book in the last 2 issues leading up to this really like just it wasn't going anywhere. They just kept saying, "Who's the Vampire Lord? Who's the Vampire Lord?" And like it's not going to be Joker because you keep signaling that it's Joker. It's going to be someone else.
It's never the obvious one.
And yeah, this reveal was actually quite surprising.
Right on.
I didn't expect Nightwing, and I like villainous Nightwing. It's good.
You don't get it all the time.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. I know that started like back in October, didn't it? For like Halloween, that was like a Halloween release.
Yeah.
And it's still going. Yeah, maybe I'll check it out when it's done.
And it's got two. It's getting two tie-ins as well.
Oh, really?
I think one called Hunters and the other called Killers. I think.
Huh.
I remember seeing something like that.
So it's already popular enough.
Yeah.
Huh. Eric helping us out one more time. Thank you, Eric. You've been a real VIP tonight. Been loving Trial of the Amazon. Sad that it's not getting no attention like all Wonder Woman events. Yeah, that is the sad truth of Wonder Woman events, isn't it? It gets no love and no attention.
I read the first issue of it and it was pretty good. But yeah, again, it's like a Wonder Woman event. Not many people care about it. Mainly just because their events are like, honestly, kind of boring.
And because DC does a terrible job marketing Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Like I wish they had taken the marketing budget from Shadows of the Bat or any of this other stuff and said, fuck it, it's in Wonder Woman now. You all need to read Wonder Woman. Wouldn't that have been nice for a change? Maybe this one will actually stick the landing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, isn't it like Hippolyta is murdered and they need to like find who killed Hippolyta?
Yeah, all these different Amazon tribes, like the one Yara Floors, part of the Band of Idols, all of them sort of like come together, and yeah, it's kind of like a whodunit.
Well, shit, I guess she's not on the Justice League anymore. There's another weird moment in history where Hippolyta was the Wonder Woman of the Justice League for a bit.
Yeah.
Which, again, that's not going to stay much longer because they're going to be killing all of them in
next issue. Yeah.
Oh, is the next one 75?
Yeah, Bendis's run finished not last week, the week before.
Right.
And that issue was like putting all the toys back in the box.
Naturally.
For the big reveal.
Speaking of which, everyone, before we close out the show this week, let's actually take a look about what's coming out on Tuesday and Wednesday, or today when the show goes live.
Yeah.
So we got Batman number 122. This is the next part of Shadow War.
Mm-hmm.
We got the finale of Devil's Reign.
Mm-hmm.
Which, man, that one really came and went, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that it's finishing up because I'm really eager to see what's going on and get to that goddamn Daredevil run again.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. We got not one but two brand new X-Force books. We've got X-Force Annual and X-Force 27. There has to be a law in comics. You cannot put out a regular book and an annual.
Which one do you read first?
I always fucking hate that when they do that.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't love how X-Men went, but I guess I'll give this a try. They're kicking off the whole big Cerebric storyline, whatever that's about.
Okay.
Captain Kun also helping us out again. Godzilla vs. Power Rangers came out 2 weeks ago, and as a fan of the big G was pretty cool. That's good.
It was. I did a review on it. It was pretty damn good.
There's another one I'll have to look into. You got X-Men Red, because that's a continuation of, Sword and all the ones you were reading.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. What's her name? Abigail Brand's a big villain now with Orchis.
Yes, Sword and all the other stuff. Magneto's back in the book, and he's back to wearing his red suit. After he fucked off and left. What else we got going on? We got a Captain Marvel annual. We got Strange 2. We got Marauders #1. Again, a book I was loving but had to drop. I know, Steve Orlando technically did the annual, but this is a new, fresh start, so maybe I'll check this one out.
Yeah, well, if that's a fresh start, I'll definitely check it out. Is it still like the same cast?
No, brand new team, actually.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's Captain Cape, but Docket is on the team now. Psylocke is on the team. A couple other new characters, and apparently the big villain is going to be Cassandra Nova, Xavier's sister who was killed in the womb. Yeah.
What the fuck was she last in? I think the original X-Men Red series with Tom Taylor.
It's been a very long time. Yeah, her and Lady Deathstrike are two villains who are they're coming back. We know we haven't used them in a while.
Yeah.
You got Star Wars Bounty Hunters 22.
Nice.
Batman Neo Year #1, Suicide Squad 14, which again is, I'm sure, hard to pick up.
The end, yeah. What the fuck is even that issue gonna be?
Yeah, considering how lackluster it was. Ooh, Spider-Punk #1.
Ooh, nice.
I like that. Yeah, we got Hobie Brown, the Spider-Punk, and Captain Anarchy.
Nice.
That one's written by Cody Ziegler.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to check that one out because I love Spider-Punk as a concept.
It's pretty good, yeah.
You got Radiant Red, you got the Monkey Prince, Deadpool Bad Blood #1. This looks like shit. Is this Rob Liefeld doing this? It is, in fact, Rob Liefeld doing this. And
so it's nothing to even... Is this that book where he was going on about, like they made, like, Shatterstar, like... By or something, and he like, oh, I can't do that with my character. I'm gonna write a book that makes him straight as an arrow.
Maybe
he was going off about fucking some fucking foolish thing like that.
He's always got like a fucking bug up his ass, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a thing. What is it? We got The Thing #6. Is that the finale of that? I heard great things about that.
Pretty sure it is.
Okay, I'll have to pick that one up. There's a lot of things, like maybe this week, if I actually do less comics, I can actually do some bigger videos. I wanted to finish Static and Icon now that they're done. You got One Star Squadron #5, Worlds of Krypton #5.
Nice.
Earth Prime #1, Batwoman. Again, we're doing those CW kind of crossover tie-ins now.
Yeah, well, I think this is the crossover they're having in lieu of like a live action one, because they couldn't do a live action one.
Right.
Because you got like a Batwoman one, there's a Superman and Lois one, a Flash one.
Right.
I think a Justice League one. I'm not sure. Yeah.
I'll be. How good has a Superman and Lois been?
Oh
by the
man,
way?
So fucking good.
I freaking love the Metropolis Kid thing at the end.
Oh, I am so looking forward to seeing more of that. But we got to wait a month.
Oh really? Are they going on another break?
The next episode comes out on, I think, the 27th of this month.
Freaking them in Law and Order, man, always going on these big long breaks.
It's gonna make it so much harder because it's just been so good.
Yeah, so there you have it, everyone. There's the comics that are coming out. Down to the comment section, tell me what you want me to cover, because like I'm actually at a loss. I don't know what to actually read.
It's hard to cover. I tell you what, I'll give you a recommendation. Read that new Ghost Rider.
Is it good?
Holy fuck! I didn't expect, like, this is Benjamin Percy doing Ghost Rider via like psychological horror and body horror. It's really fucking good. I read the second issue not too long ago, and I did the first issue on a stream. I had no idea what it was going to be like, and it was so fucking good. It's violent as fuck. It's like, yeah, body horror, weird shit that, and it's not parental advised either. It's just like a normal comic, and the shit they get away with in it.
Huh. I like it. I like it a lot. I might have to check that out. Lord knows I'll probably like it more than Percy's work on Wolverine, unfortunately.
Like, I read that and I'm like, this is the same guy that did all those X Deaths and Lives book. What the fuck, man? Is this what he really wanted to do, and they made him want to do that, you know?
I truly feel like they all drew straws in the X-Writers room. Like, okay, who gets to do the follow-up from Inferno now? Who gets to rip the Hickman Band-Aid? Oh, Ben, guess it's you. And he's like, fuck me, all right. I'll do it, but I'm not going to be happy about it.
I'll do it, but you got to give me this Ghost Rider book.
Yes, Crusader Con saying Radiant Black retrospective. I probably should. Kyle Higgins was on here on the channel talking about it, and now there's like Radiant Red and Supermassive. Like, it's becoming its own universe.
I read that first issue, and it was really great.
It was, wasn't it? It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Fucking relatable, too, about a guy who has to move back home because of his art and everything. I'm like, oh my god, I'm a YouTuber, and I feel this in my heart, so fuck me, I'm Alan Burnett, god damn it. Help me. I am this character. But yeah, everyone, thank you so much for coming and joining us. It might have been a little shorter this week because there was less news and less books, but we hope we filled your night with fun. We hope you can fill your Wednesday with fun when this shows up. If you're a patron, of course, you'll be getting this first in both video and audio form. Patron helps us in a big bad way keep the lights on, helps us, bring you great content like this every week.
Yep.
Yeah, Matt and I splitting up the super chats too. Those are always really great. Thank you to
Very
everyone
helpful.
who donates there. That's a very pleasant surprise. You buy us dinner sometimes to nourish our bodies and our minds, and it is very good. And sometimes I get the extra nugget sauce. You make that possible, everyone. Actually, I'm not doing that recently. Actually, I'm super back on my diet now.
Nice, good for you.
Trying to do it. I'm just like, I gotta fucking lose this COVID weight. I gotta fucking go out at some point. You know what did it? I actually got, what is it, like a press thing for Emerald City Comic Con, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I'm like, is it safe enough to go? I mean, I guess I can. I guess travel restrictions are like getting lifted, and like, you know, I'm all vaxxed and masked and safe and everything. Like, I guess it would be okay. And then I'm like, yeah, if I'm gonna be back in public again, I should probably lose some weight. Should probably do it, because I'll look at myself on camera and pictures and be like, oh god, what happened to me? What did I do? So, yeah, thank you, everyone, for coming and hanging out and everything. We really appreciate it. Matt and I will be back again next week.
Okay. See you later, everyone.
Bye-bye.